Hi, hope you're doing well. Welcome back to my channel. So we're going to look at a trailer today that I don't think anyone cares about anymore. And then also there was a lot of issues with watching the trailer initially, so that's why I held off. So Disney, don't be mad. It's been a month now, I think. So just chillax. We're going to be fine. Do you want us to view your stuff? I think you do. It's the Peter Pan trailer. I don't have a lot of high hopes for this because I think this is Disney Plus. So I don't know if it's a movie or if it's a series. I believe it's a movie, so let's just see how this goes. Luke Evans is in this, isn't he?
How did you come to Neverland?
Where are her brothers? Yeah. She seems a little too old.
Are you?
Lost boys.
Every last one of us.
Oh.
But you're not all boys.
So, yeah, good
Where's
point.
this place? It's home.
Peter found it.
There's
Just
John.
like he found all of us.
It's like he found me. Peter Pan?
Were you expecting someone else?
Oh, Tink looks so pretty. I like his voice. So what's weird
What'd
that
you say,
he's
boys?
British?
You ready for an adventure? It looks very far away.
Oh.
It's closer than you think.
What's going on with the clock? Ooh, the mermaids. So they're not friendly.
What is it that you're afraid of, my love?
Perhaps I don't want to grow up.
Hold the past in your heart, but where you go from here, it's up to you.
Oh, is that Tiger Lily? That's cool. Oh, there's Hook.
Wendy, Moira, Angela, darling. Where is Peter Pan?
Is that Luke Evans or is that Jude Law? I can't really tell. Whoa. Ooh, I think this looks interesting. I can see why they're calling it Peter Pan and Wendy and not just straight up Peter Pan, because Wendy seems to be more of a character. She was more of a, I wouldn't say plot device, but we were kind of seeing things through her eyes, but it was always about like Peter Pan. It's interesting that they're making it more Wendy centric, which I think is important because she is kind of the glue. She's the mother figure for her brothers, but also she has a fear of growing up. But I think, and it's a good parallel because I know Peter Pan 2 is like controversial, or I don't know if controversial, but not as well liked because Jane is all about being an adult or needing to be an adult, but she's in the World War II era. I guess this is World War I or maybe post that. I don't know. It's interesting. I didn't hate it, so that's good. Subtitles? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Wow, you actually remembered. I wish it was brighter. I guess that I feel like that's always my complaint with some of these movies is just because it's so, you have to make it realistic. But Neverland's supposed to be really pretty, and it doesn't seem, I mean, the mermaids looked really cool. They were very like glowy, very different from Halle Bailey's mermaid and her world of Atlantica, which I think was cool. Good distinction. But like the rest of the place doesn't look as bright, which is a bummer. Because when I picture Neverland, I think of the waterfalls and rainbows and I don't know. I remember a lot of stuff. I hope they can treat the Native American characters well. I know that's a big complaint about rewatching Peter Pan now in like a 21st century light. It's pretty disrespectful. I hope that there was someone behind the scenes who was Native American who was able to sort of direct to a degree or help to at least make notes to like show what should be done versus what shouldn't be. I watch a lot of Kendall Ray true crime stuff, and she just reported on an indigenous woman disappearing and ending up dead, and how the police just botched that whole operation because the disrespect to indigenous Native American people is abundant, and it was abundant in the Peter Pan movie as well, clearly, which is a shame. So I hope this goes better. I at least appreciate that they're still here, because I think removing them from this project is not the answer either. And I believe now, if you go watch the Peter Pan movie, they have a disclaimer, like I think they do with Pinocchio and maybe another film that I can't think of off the top of my head, but it says, this is a product of its time, needs to not reflect current beliefs, whatever. It's weird that the pixie dust looks, I guess they wanted to show it, and I guess she's on a beach, so maybe she has some sand on her, but it's very sparkly, which I guess is the point. You need it to make it look really good. It's hard to sort of bring that to life in a real adaptation. I'm saying real just because there's real people. I think her performance is pretty good. She just looked really old there. Maybe it's because her hair's darker and wet. Where's Skull Island? There's Hook's ship. He's shooting, I'm guessing, at the kids. I wonder how they got separated. I guess from the shooting cannons, like, she gets kind of down, and then when she got wet, like, she lost the dust, so she couldn't fly again, and then that's when she comes upon, I don't know, because they all seem to leave together, but then she's the one who comes across the Lost Boys? I don't know. I love his crown. I appreciate that it's not just boys this time, but they are still calling them the Lost Boys. I kind of miss the animal outfits. I know that was a little more kiddie, but this feels more realistic as to like who they are. They're probably still wearing the clothes that they were abducted and liberated. And, you know, there's always a weird commentary. It's like, we're going to kidnap kids and make them young forever. I like the diversity. I appreciate that's boys and girls. I wonder where they heard the story of Peter Pan. I wonder if like their mom had some sort of experience, because that's sort of the connection that Wendy and Jane have in the second movie. I wonder if they'll show that. I wonder how they changed this. They usually try to like edit it every so often, but I can't tell if the lanterns are new or not. Maybe they're not. Maybe that's like from Tangled. I think that's also like Shang-Chi to a degree, because obviously Arendelle's over there. That's the Pride Rock. This is the castle. So this must be where the Lost Boys hang out. It looks like a tower. I kind of miss the tree. I like the tree. It's still surrounded by trees. So that's nice. I believe this one's Michael and the baby one's John. I can't remember. But I love that he still has his hat. Love the hat. It's silly, but it's great. This place is very cool. I wonder what it used to be. I wonder how they'll go into the lore of how Neverland kind of exists, because that's probably really interesting. I don't really understand it. I don't think I've ever seen Robin Williams's Hook movie, so I feel like that's something maybe I should watch. Maybe they'll have references to that in this, because I believe that is a Disney film. I don't know. If you want me to react to that on my channel, let me know. Oh, he's so cute. I love his hair. I feel like for a show that's called Peter and Wendy, we're not getting a ton of Peter, and that makes me worried that they're not confident in his performance. I do like focusing on Wendy, but Peter's name's first. And I know that's kind of alphabetically correct. P comes before W, but you know, I want to see Peter. He's kind of like, he was the like freeze frame on the trailer with his hands on his hips. And, you know, like, we're following him and everyone believes in him and he's the one who saves the day. So we have to see him and we're not. So I hope we get to see a little more. I do like the way he delivered that line. Oh, she looks really cute. I feel bad that we're not really going to hear her talk, because I feel like we have that with Ariel and she's black too. So that seems kind of lame. I mean, she's talking, but not with ways that we can understand her. Like, Peter understands, and then she sort of, like, mimes to the children. But I hope it's still conveyed well. She has a great smile. She looks really cute. If people are mad about it, don't be. I appreciate that they're showing the shadow. That's really fun. Teddy bear, very important. I'm surprised Tink is even, like, going up to her, because Tink is such a bad attitude towards Wendy initially. But that was sort of because Wendy was, like, the only girl that Peter ever, like, encountered. So I felt like Tink was, like, worried about getting replaced. But obviously there's been Tinkerbell-centric movies that have focused on her creativity and her, like, element. She's a tinkerer, and that's why she's called Tink. Those were fun and cute, and I like that there was exploration of different fairies. But in that film, like, series, she meets a human girl and she's not mean to her. There's obviously like a lack of communication sometimes, but it didn't really explain her fieriness, which I still really enjoy about Tink in the movies, and not just her solo career centric movies. It's closer than you think. I'm not crazy about his hat. I feel like it's a little too pointed. I don't know. It's still pretty accurate, but I'm curious as to what's going on with the clock. Like, if this all is like a dream, because that seems weird and dangerous. That looks really cool. The wind effect looks nice. See, the mermaids look really cool, and they almost have like jellyfish, like glow-in-the-dark attributes, which is cool. I believe that's Smee, maybe? Though he doesn't have a talking line, so that's surprising. Or he doesn't seem to yet. Mrs. Darling. And there's Doggy. Like, I'm curious to see, I guess, no, because the dad was in the picture, wasn't he? So I wonder, like, what the trauma is about not wanting to grow up. He's worried about. I wish she sparkled a little more. Maybe it was just hard to, like, realize the technology maybe isn't there yet, but she was so glowy and sparkly in the OG movies. She's not as much in her solo projects because they're focusing on her being a tinkerer, but that lore behind Tinkerbell doesn't exist in the Peter Pan movies, so I would like to see her glow a bit more. I don't know. I think she still looks really cute. I wonder how Tiger Lily will play a role. This Peter Pan doesn't seem... I think my problem with this, he doesn't have all the confidence like I think he should. I think he has like some fun in him, but he doesn't seem the know-it-all. And maybe like they had to tone that down because that makes him to a degree unlikable. But it also was a reason as to why they followed him, because he was so self-assured and didn't let anything get him down, and he was really confident. And yes, it could come off as a little annoying and brash, and I think Wendy sort of like notices that, but it is something that really attributed to his character, because he had to go up against like an adult and be confident and stuff like that. I wonder if they'll go into lore about, how do you know her full name? That's very strange. Are you connected? I'm confused. I like the long hair. I wonder how they'll explain the pirates. Like, I'm curious if they're pirates because they were kids that grew up on the island or what. I don't really know the lore behind that. I believe I did see Finding Neverland, which was a Broadway musical, but I don't really remember how that went. I found it really fun, and I have fond memories of the show, but I don't really remember what happened. And I don't know if they've touched on this or not. So if there's some media that you're familiar with that goes into this like background on like the Neverland mythos, please let me know. And he has a good stance there, but like, I don't know, I want him to do more. And it looks like Tiger Lily's gonna have more of a proactive role, which is cool, because I feel like she was just sort of there as not competition for Wendy, but just as like the pretty girl. And that seemed kind of silly. She has a good smile there. I think this is gonna be a fun project. I just don't have like a ton of interest, I suppose, because as I've gotten older, I did not enjoy Peter Pan because I thought he was annoying. And then I myself have been sort of dealing with having to grow up myself. So it's not something I like to look at, because I am thinking about how I am changing and how I need to grow up and be an adult at almost 28 this year. Ugh, disgusting. I'm old. I feel like I have a weird relationship with it as I've gotten older, but I'm excited to see maybe new takes, new exploration, you know, better judgment or better justice for the Native American characters. I'm excited to see Tink. I hope she gets to still be a bit of a spitfire and, you know, feisty. She's fun. I loved her expressions in the movies, so I hope we get to see that. I hope she glows a touch more, and I hope Peter is able to sort of be exuberant and confident, because again, I didn't see that here. But let me know your thoughts on it down below. Do you like how all the characters are portrayed? Are you excited to see Hook? He looked not too goofy, which is kind of a bummer, because I liked that he was kind of psychotic, but not in like a crazy brash way, in like a silly way. I don't know, it's just refreshing, because pirates are kind of gimmicky, so he was kind of a silly gimmick. I don't know. I hope that isn't lost too much. I don't want him to be too serious and a stick in the mud. He is dealing with children. So I hope they can keep it light. Let me know if you're going to watch it when this drops. Like, subscribe for more content. Thank you for viewing this trailer with me, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye for now.